let f of x equals cosine of x. It's supposed to determine the x values where the function has a maximum or a minimum. So the graph of cosine of x, and if you modify it like the graph of cosine pi of x and things like that, cosine starts at what we say the peak of the amplitude. The amplitude of a function is like how high the trigonometric function can go. So like if you were to graph sine of x, it actually starts right at the midline, starts at 0, and it reaches its peak, then it goes down to its lowest point, and then it comes back to the center, and then it has a period of 2 pi. So f of x equals cosine of x. Cosine also has a period of 2 pi, which means you start repeating yourself after 2 pi units. Let's see what else. It says only on this interval, so we don't consider exactly 2 pi. We could just consider everything in between it. Okay, so this is like our cutoff. We're only considering this part of the graph. So cosine of x, like if you plug in 0 for cosine, that's 1. Okay, and you could check it with a calculator too. Cosine of 0 is 1. And then cosine follows like that sinusoidal wave. It goes down to -1, and then it's repeating itself once it hits 2 pi again, because that's its period. But we're going to put an open circle here because they have a parentheses at the end. So where does it reach its maximum value on this graph? At cosine of 0. So at x equals 0, it's reached its maximum value. And then where does it reach its minimum value? Its minimum is directly between 0 and 2 pi. So that would be 1 pi, right? So x equals pi, and Mobius wants you to type it in as capital P, lowercase I. That's where it's reached the minimum down here.